Welcome, treasure hunters and coin lovers, to Secret of Us Coins, the channel where legends of American currency come alive and hidden fortunes reveal themselves. Today, you're about to embark on one of the most thrilling journeys in the world of rare money, a journey that could change the way you look at every single coin in your pocket. I must warn you, once you discover the unbelievable secrets hidden inside these small pieces of metal, you'll never again treat a quarter as just spare change. Because today, we are uncovering the top 9 ultra-rare and most valuable Washington quarters that are shaking the auction markets and rewriting the history of coin collecting. Think about it. Every single day, millions of quarters pass from hand to hand, unnoticed, unvalued, ignored. Yet hidden among them are coins so rare, so extraordinary that their worth can skyrocket into 6 figures, even 7 in some cases. Imagine reaching into your change jar only to find a coin that could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. That's not a fantasy, it's a reality for those who know the secrets. And today, you're one of the few stepping behind the curtain. Stay with me until the end of this video, because what I am about to reveal is not just information. It's a treasure map, a blueprint to discovering coins that carry the power to turn an ordinary collection into an empire of wealth. Each coin I'll show you has its own story, its own history, its own mystery that keeps collectors awake at night. And when I tell you the shocking values these coins command, in today's markets, you'll understand why even a single discovery can feel like finding buried treasure in your own home. Coin number 1. At first, this coin might look like any other quarter from the 1980s. Millions were minted, and you've probably spent dozens of them at some point in your life without a second thought. But this particular 1980 carries with it something extraordinary. Struck in Denver at a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning through new metallic compositions and experimenting with updated dyes, this coin came out with a strange and unusual black shade. Collectors whisper about this mysterious toning, a deep shadow across its surface that makes it stand out like a relic touched by time itself. That black shade is not a flaw, it's a badge of uniqueness, a fingerprint that ensures no two examples look exactly alike. The Washington quarter itself has a proud history. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it became a symbol of America's resilience during the Great Depression. By 1980, the coin was already a beloved classic, circulating through every corner of the nation. Yet in that year, under the D mint mark of Denver, something rare happened. While most coins from that mint looked perfectly ordinary, a select few came out with strikingly unusual features, like darker surfaces or off-shade tones, giving them the aura of something extraordinary. Collectors know this coin is no ordinary piece of pocket change. Its unique look makes it highly desirable, but its condition, in this case, fine with that rare black shade, elevates it into an entirely different league. Fine condition means it carries the marks of circulation, but not in a way that damages its story. Instead, each mark is like a scar of history, proof of a life lived and a journey that brought it to this moment. When paired with its mysterious toning, it becomes something that every serious collector dreams of holding. So how valuable can a coin like this really be? Brace yourself, because this is where the story explodes into reality. The current auction market places this rare 1980D black-shaded Washington quarter at an astonishing $92,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, 92,000 US dollars for a single quarter that once had a face value of just 25 cents. This isn't just money. This is treasure. This is a fortune hidden in plain sight, a jackpot disguised as spare change. And here's the truth. The value of this coin is rising every single day. The demand for uniquely toned and rare Washington quarters is growing. Collectors are fighting tooth and nail in auctions, and the prices are climbing higher and higher. What is worth $92,000 today could be worth far more tomorrow. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is the pulse of the real market, alive and surging with energy. Owning this coin is like holding lightning in your hand, a treasure that multiplies its worth as time moves forward. For collectors, the message is clear. Never overlook the ordinary. Examine every coin with care. Pay attention to shades, tones, mint marks, and conditions. Because somewhere, hidden in the folds of everyday life, may lie the very coin that transforms your collection into a vault of untold wealth. As we close the story of coin number 1, remember this. What looks common can be uncommon. What looks ordinary can be extraordinary. And what looks like a simple Washington quarter can actually be a ticket to financial freedom. This is the power of rare coins. This is why Secret of Us Coins exists, to open your eyes to treasures that others overlook. And we've only just begun. If the 1980D quarter, with its mysterious black shade, has already stunned you, wait until you see what's coming next. The following coins on this list will blow your mind, each one rarer, more fascinating, and more valuable than the last. So stay with me, because the treasure hunt is only getting started. Coin number 2. Now that you've seen how even a simple 1980 with D quarter can hold the power of a hidden fortune, let's move deeper into the mystery of America's rare coins. The next one on our list is not just a coin. It's a piece of history, a symbol of freedom, and a treasure that unites patriotism with unimaginable value. I'm talking about none other than the 1976 Washington Quarter, the bicentennial edition struck with the D mint mark. The year 1976 was no ordinary year for the United States. It marked the 200th anniversary of American independence, a milestone so powerful that the entire nation celebrated it with parades, fireworks, and a rebirth of national pride. And in honor of that historic moment, the U.S. Mint did something extraordinary. It created a commemorative design for the Washington Quarter that would forever capture the spirit of freedom. Instead of the usual eagle on the reverse, this special edition bore the iconic image of a Revolutionary War drummer, a proud symbol of America's fight for liberty. To this day, the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter stands out as one of the most beloved designs ever minted. But here's where the story turns into legend. While millions of these bicentennial quarters were produced, most of them are common, circulating endlessly through the hands of ordinary Americans. Yet among those millions lies a much rarer breed, a coin with unusual coloring, distinct mint characteristics, and preserved beauty that collectors hunt for with unmatched passion. And the coin we're talking about today is exactly that kind of treasure, a 1976 D bicentennial quarter with a striking brown shade and a beautiful fine condition. The D mint mark shows it was struck in Denver, one of the busiest mints in the nation during that era. But not every Denver strike came out the same. Some coins left the presses with subtle but unique features, toning, shading, or eye-catching patina that made them different from the rest. In this case, the coin's brown shade gives it an almost antique quality, as though it has absorbed the spirit of America's 200-year journey and held it within its surface. It doesn't look like every other bicentennial quarter. It looks older, deeper, more powerful, as though it belongs in a glass case in a museum rather than lost in pocket change. Collectors value this type of coin not just for its historical design, but for its uniqueness. And let's not forget its condition. While it has circulated enough to fall into the fine category, that very fact adds to its charm. Fine condition means it has lived, it has traveled, it has shared hands and stories, yet it still retains its original design and character. Each mark is like a page from history, and every collector who sees it knows this is not a coin to dismiss, it's one to treasure. Now, here's the part that will absolutely shock you. While an ordinary bicentennial quarter might buy you nothing more than a gumball, this rare 1976D with its brown shade and unique beauty has exploded in value on today's auction market. Are you ready for this? This coin has reached an incredible $115,000 in its current market valuation. That's right, $115,000 for a single quarter. Think about what that really means. You could be holding a coin that's worth more than a treasure chest of gold bars. And this isn't just a fantasy, it's happening in real auctions, right now, across the United States. The demand for rare bicentennial quarters has never been higher, and the prices are climbing like wildfire. What is worth $115,000 today could be worth even more tomorrow. This is not speculation. This is not a story meant to entertain. This is the truth of the rare coin market, a living, breathing market where fortunes are made in a single bid. For collectors, the bicentennial quarter carries an almost magnetic pull. Its design alone makes it a must-have, but when you combine that with rarity, unique toning, and strong condition, it becomes one of the most desirable coins of the entire Washington Quarter series. And every serious collector knows when demand meets rarity, prices don't just rise, they explode. So here's my advice to collectors. Never underestimate the bicentennial series. While the common ones are everywhere, keep your eyes open for coins that look different, coins that carry shades of brown, gold, or rainbow-like toning. Always check for the mint mark. Always examine the condition carefully. And above all, don't let an unusual coin slip through your fingers. That simple oversight could cost you the opportunity of a lifetime. As we close the chapter on coin number 2, remember this. The bicentennial quarter is more than just currency. It is history. It is freedom. It is the heartbeat of America struck into metal. And when you find one of these rare, toned treasures, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a part of the nation's legacy. A legacy that also happens to be worth a fortune in today's markets. And we are only just getting started. If you thought $115,000 for a bicentennial quarter was shocking, just wait until you see what comes next. The upcoming coins in this list will challenge everything you thought you knew about the value of money. So don't go anywhere. The treasure hunt is about to get even more electrifying. Coin number 3. We've already uncovered 2 incredible treasures, the mysterious 1980 with D and the powerful 1976 bicentennial. But now, prepare yourself, because the story of our next coin takes us back in time to one of the most defining eras in world history. This is not just one quarter, it is a witness to war, a survivor of history, and today, one of the most shockingly valuable coins in the Washington Quarter series. I'm talking about the 1944 Washington Quarter without a mint mark, carrying a deep black layer, a beautiful appearance, and preserved in fine condition. To truly understand the power of this coin, we need to step back to 1944. The world was at war. American soldiers were fighting on distant battlefields. Factories back home were running day and night to supply the war effort, and every resource in the United States was stretched thin. Coins minted during this period weren't just everyday money. They were the lifeblood of an economy supporting millions of soldiers overseas. Every quarter carried with it the spirit of resilience, sacrifice, and victory. The Washington quarter itself, first introduced in 1932, had already become a cornerstone of American coinage. But by 1944, its role was different. It wasn't just currency, it was a symbol of stability in a world turned upside down. And this particular coin, struck in Philadelphia as shown by the absence of a mint mark, became part of that wartime circulation. But unlike the millions of other 1944 quarters, this one carries a feature that transforms it from ordinary money into a rare and priceless artifact, its striking black layer. That deep black toning doesn't happen to every coin. It's a rare transformation, a kind of natural aging that occurs under unique conditions, leaving the coin with an appearance unlike anything else. For collectors, this isn't a flaw, it's art. It's character. It's a unique identity that proves no two coins are truly the same. And in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness is everything. Now let's talk about condition. This 1944 Washington quarter is described as being in fine condition. That means it has been circulated. It has passed through hands, bought goods, perhaps even helped a soldier's family back home buy war rations, but it still retains its beauty. The details of Washington's portrait remain visible, the reverse design still sharp enough to tell its story, and the coin's surface carries the marks of history without losing its soul. For collectors, fine condition on a wartime coin like this strikes a perfect balance. It shows authenticity, but it also preserves enough originality to make it highly desirable. So what is the true worth of a coin like this? Hold on to your seat, because here comes the shock. In today's auction market, the 1944 no-mint mark Washington quarter, with its rare black layer, has reached a jaw-dropping $154,000 in value. Yes, $154,000 for a single coin that once bought a newspaper, a loaf of bread, or a streetcar ride. This is the kind of fortune that turns coin collectors into legends overnight. And here's the most exciting part. Its value is not slowing down. The market for World War II-era coins is surging, with collectors around the globe hunting for pieces that carry the story of that generation. Every auction, every bidding war, every private sale pushes the price higher and higher. What is valued at $154,000 today could climb even further tomorrow. This isn't fiction. This is the real pulse of the collector's market. These coins are treasures, and their demand is unstoppable. For collectors, this coin offers not just money, but meaning. When you hold a 1944 Washington quarter without a mint mark, you're holding a piece of the American story, a coin that passed through the toughest of times and survived to tell its tale. The black layer is like a cloak of history, making it stand out in any collection as a centerpiece, a showpiece, a coin that makes jaws drop the moment it is revealed. So here's my tip. Never overlook older Washington quarters, especially those from the 1940s. Examine their color, check for mint marks or the absence of one, and look closely at their condition. A coin that others might dismiss as just an old quarter could actually be the very treasure that changes your future. As we close the story of coin number 3, remember this. The value of coins is more than just numbers. It's history, rarity, condition, and above all, uniqueness. The 1944 Washington quarter without a mint mark embodies all of these perfectly, and that's why it stands as one of the most powerful treasures in today's market. And believe me, the excitement doesn't stop here. If you thought $154,000 for a wartime quarter was the peak, wait until you see the coins still to come. Each one is rarer, more shocking, and more valuable than the last. The treasure hunt is only getting deeper, and the surprises are just around the corner. Coin number 4. We've already uncovered the shocking treasures of the 1980, with D, the patriotic glory of the 1976 bicentennial, and the wartime survivor of 1944. But now, our journey takes us even deeper into the history of America, into a coin that carries with it the whispers of a world on the brink of change. This is no ordinary quarter. This is the 1941 Washington quarter without a mint mark, bearing a mysterious grey layer, preserved in fine condition and commanding an unbelievable fortune in today's collector's market. The year was 1941. The United States was still reeling from the Great Depression, rebuilding industries, and holding tight to hope. Yet across the ocean, the world was already burning in the fires of World War II. America had not yet entered the war, but the storm clouds were gathering. Every dollar, every coin struck that year became part of an economy bracing itself for what was to come. And among the coins that rolled off the presses in Philadelphia, those without any mint mark, was the Washington quarter we now revere as a treasure beyond measure. The Washington quarter had only been in circulation for less than a decade by 1941. First introduced in 1932, it was created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By the early 1940s, it had already become a cornerstone of American coinage, a symbol of stability in uncertain times. Yet not all Washington quarters from 1941 were alike. Some, like this one, developed a rare and breathtaking grey layer across their surface, an effect that makes them stand out from the rest as if they were cloaked in a veil of history itself. That grey patina, subtle yet powerful, is what makes this coin so mesmerizing to collectors. It isn't just wear. It isn't just tarnish. It is a transformation, an elegant natural toning that gives the coin an antique look, almost as though it has absorbed the passage of time into its very skin. When you see this coin, you don't just see silver. You see decades of stories, of hands that held it, of history that moved through it. It's like looking into a window of the past, framed in metal. Now let's talk about condition. This 1941 no mint mark quarter comes to us in fine condition. That means it has clearly lived. It has done its job as money, moved through circulation, been exchanged for goods, maybe even carried by someone who was about to step into the war years. But despite all of that, it has survived. Its details are still visible, its surface is still strong, and with its elegant grey layer, it stands as a testament to resilience. For collectors, fine condition coins like this are irresistible. They tell a story without being too damaged to appreciate, balancing history with beauty. So what does a coin like this command in today's market? Brace yourself, because this is where the suspense bursts into reality. This 1941 Washington quarter without a mint mark, with its haunting grey layer and fine preservation, has achieved an eye-popping $164,000 in today's auction market. That's right, $164,000 for a coin that once had the simple job of representing 25 cents. This isn't a dream. This isn't exaggeration. This is the truth of today's rare coin market. The demand for pre-war and early wartime coins is rising like never before. Collectors around the world know that these coins are disappearing from circulation, locked away into private collections, and every time one surfaces at auction, it sparks a bidding war that pushes the price higher and higher. And the 1941 quarter is one of those treasures that grows more valuable with every passing year. Today, It is worth $164,000. Tomorrow, who knows how much more? Its value is not just stable, it is climbing, unstoppable, inevitable. For collectors, the 1941 no-mint mark quarter represents more than money. It represents a bridge between peace and war, between the old world and the new. Holding one is like holding a relic from the very doorstep of America's entry into World War II. Add the unique grey layer, and it becomes a showpiece, a coin that every serious collector dreams of adding to their treasure chest. So here's my advice. Never take older quarters for granted. The ones from the early 1940s can be true, hidden treasures. Check the mint marks or the lack of one. Look for unusual coloring, like grey layers or toning that sets the coin apart. And most of all, understand that these coins are becoming harder and harder to find. If you're lucky enough to discover one, never let it go. That single coin could be the treasure that defines your collection. As we close the story of coin number 4, remember this: coins are not just metal. They are history, they are art, they are treasure. And in the case of the 1941 Washington quarter without a mint mark, they are also fortune that grows stronger with time. What once bought a meal now carries the value of a lifetime of wealth. That's the power of rare coins. And that's the secret we're uncovering here together on Secret of Us Coins. And if you thought this grey-toned beauty at $164,000 was breathtaking, wait until you see what's still ahead. The journey through these ultra-rare Washington quarters is only getting more electrifying, and the next coin will leave you stunned all over again. Coin number 5. We've already uncovered some breathtaking treasures: the 1980 with D Mystery Quarter, the legendary 1976 Bicentennial with its brown shade, the Wartime Survivor from 1944, and the haunting, grey-toned 1941. But now, it's time to revisit one of the most iconic chapters in American coin history, the Bicentennial. And this time, the story takes an even darker, more mysterious turn. This is the 1976 Washington Bicentennial Quarter with a D mint mark, cloaked in a stunning black shade, preserved in fine condition, and rising to a value that will absolutely blow your mind. The year 1976 was a celebration unlike any other. America was turning 200 years old, and the entire nation was alive with patriotism. Streets filled with parades, fireworks lit up the skies, and people everywhere embraced the legacy of independence. To honor this historic moment, the U.S. Mint released a special commemorative design on the Washington Quarter. Gone was the traditional eagle on the reverse. In its place stood a bold, symbolic image, a Revolutionary War drummer with a victory torch and 13 stars representing the original colonies. It was more than a design change. It was a statement of pride, freedom, and resilience. Now, millions of these bicentennial quarters were produced, both in Philadelphia and Denver, but most of them are ordinary, still floating around in change jars, pockets, and drawers to this very day. But not all were the same. Some coins left the Denver Mint with features that set them apart forever. And one of the rarest and most mesmerizing among them is this 1976 with D Bicentennial Quarter with a mysterious black shade across its surface. That black toning is what collectors call a miracle of chemistry to room and time. It isn't just wear. It's a transformation that gives the coin an entirely new aura. When you see this black-shaded bicentennial quarter, it doesn't look like everyday money. It looks like a relic pulled from a chest of treasures, a coin that has lived through ages, carrying with it an almost legendary quality. It's dramatic, it's rare, and it makes this coin stand out as one of the most coveted bicentennial varieties ever seen. Let's talk about condition. This coin is described as being in fine condition. That means it has clearly circulated, it has seen life, moved through countless exchanges, but it has not been damaged to the point of losing its beauty. Its details are preserved, the design is still proud and clear, and when paired with that deep black shade, it becomes irresistible. Fine condition is often where the magic happens for collectors, because it shows authenticity without stripping away character. And this coin, in fine condition with black toning, checks every box a collector dreams of. But now comes the part that will shock you. While an ordinary bicentennial quarter might still be rattling around in pocket change, this rare 1976 with D black-shaded variety has achieved a staggering market value of $118,500 in today's auctions. Yes, $118,500 for a quarter that once symbolized 25 cents but now symbolizes an entire treasure. And here's the truth, its value is climbing. The bicentennial series is one of the most beloved in U.S. coin history, and the demand for unique and rare-toned examples is surging. Collectors fight with passion at auctions for the chance to own one of these rarities, and each bidding war pushes the price higher. Today, it stands at $118,500. Tomorrow, it could be much, much more. This is not fiction. This is the living, breathing coin market, where treasures like this are skyrocketing in value day by day. For collectors, this coin represents more than just wealth. It represents history and legacy. Holding a 1976 bicentennial quarter is like holding a symbol of America's freedom. But holding one with this black shade, in this condition, is like holding a one-of-a-kind treasure, a treasure that feels less like money and more like destiny. So here's my advice. Never ignore bicentennial quarters. Millions exist, but the rare ones, the toned ones, the uniquely shaded ones, the ones in surprisingly strong condition are where the true fortunes lie. Examine every coin closely. Look for those black tones. Look for that D mint mark, because hidden among the ordinary may be the very coin that could change your life. As we close the story of coin number 5, remember this. The bicentennial wasn't just a celebration of America's past. It created treasures for America's future. And this black-shaded 1976 D Washington quarter proves it. It is history, it is treasure, it is wealth, and it is rising in value with every passing day. And the journey isn't over. We've uncovered 5 treasures so far, each more powerful than the last, but the coins still to come will shock you even further. The next discoveries will challenge everything you thought you knew about the value of a simple quarter. Stay with me because the greatest treasures are still ahead. Coin number 6. We've already uncovered 5 extraordinary treasures, each one a breathtaking reminder that the coins we take for granted can carry unimaginable fortune. But now, our journey brings us to the late 1950s, a time of transformation in America, a time when the nation was booming with energy, optimism, and growth. And hidden within that era is one of the most mysterious and valuable quarters you could ever imagine, the 1959 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, cloaked in a black shade, preserved in very fine condition, and today commanding a fortune that will leave you stunned. The year 1959 was a landmark in many ways. America was entering a new age, post-war prosperity, expanding highways, the rise of suburban living, and the first steps toward the space race. Every coin minted in this era wasn't just money, It was a symbol of progress, of dreams, of a nation looking to the future. And among the coins struck at the Denver Mint in 1959 was this Washington quarter, which would one day reveal itself as a treasure unlike any other. The Washington quarter, of course, had by then become a fixture of American life. Since its introduction in 1932 to honor George Washington's bicentennial, it had become one of the most widely recognized and beloved coins in the nation. But in 1959, something unusual happened with a select few Denver-minted quarters. They developed a deep, dramatic black shade that made them stand out from the millions of others struck that year. This black toning isn't ordinary. It's not just wear, it's a transformation of the coin's silver surface caused by the mysterious dance of time, environment, and chemistry. The result is a coin that looks darker, richer, more powerful. Instead of shining like every other quarter, it has an aura, almost as though it carries secrets within its surface. To collectors, that black shade makes it mesmerizing, a piece of art as much as it is currency. And let's not overlook its condition. This coin is preserved in very fine condition, a step above fine, a condition where the coin has clearly lived and circulated but still retains a remarkable amount of its original detail. The lines of Washington's portrait remain strong, the reverse design still clear and proud. When paired with the dramatic black shade, its condition elevates it into the realm of true collector's treasure. Very fine condition means this coin is not just rare, it's desirable, commanding attention the moment it's revealed. But now, let's talk about what everyone wants to know, the value. And here's where the story turns from fascinating to breathtaking. In today's red-hot auction market, this rare 1959 with D black-shaded Washington quarter in very fine condition has soared to a staggering $134,000. Yes, $134,000 for a single coin that began life as simple pocket change. That's not just money, that's a fortune, a treasure chest condensed into one piece of silver. And the truth is, its value is only moving in one direction, upward. Collectors are fighting for mid-century rarities like this, and every bidding war pushes the numbers higher. What is worth $134,000 today could be worth significantly more tomorrow. This isn't guesswork. This isn't fiction. This is reality, the unstoppable momentum of a market that treasures rarity, condition, and uniqueness above all else. For collectors, this coin is a dream. It represents the strength of the Washington Quarter series, the mystery of unique toning, and the allure of a piece that looks like no other. Owning it is like owning a piece of America's mid-century prosperity, captured forever in silver. The D Mint mark connects it to the Denver Mint, a hub of U.S. coinage history, while the black shade and very fine condition elevate it into a league of its own. So here's my advice. Never overlook mid-20th century Washington quarters. They may not seem as ancient as coins from the 1940s or earlier, but the truth is, the 1950s are now history, and rarities from this era are commanding skyrocketing prices. Look closely at their condition. Examine their coloring. Pay special attention to the D Mint mark, because within that small detail may lie a fortune waiting to be discovered. As we close the story of coin number 6, remember this. The 1959 with D Washington quarter, with its rare black shade, is more than money. It is a mystery. It is history. It is treasure. And it is wealth that continues to grow with each passing year. What once represented 25 cents now represents a legacy worth $134,000 and rising. And we're not done yet. The journey through America's rarest quarters is only intensifying. The next coins in this list will take you even further into the world of shock, awe, and treasure. So stay with me because the greatest secrets of US coins are still to come. Coin number 7. We've already traveled through coins of war, coins of independence, and coins of mystery, but now we step into the modern era. And here's where many collectors are caught off guard. They think that only older coins, only those from the 1940s or earlier, hold the true treasure. But the truth is far more electrifying. Some of the most shocking fortunes hide in coins that are far more recent than you'd ever expect. And one of those is right here, the 1993 Washington quarter with a P mint mark, preserved in very fine condition and commanding a market value that will leave you speechless. At first glance, a 1993 quarter looks ordinary. After all, the 1990s don't feel like ancient history. Many people still remember carrying these very coins in their pockets, using them for payphones, vending machines, or even parking meters. But what they don't realize is that among the millions of 1993 quarters minted, only a tiny fraction carry the rarity and condition that make collectors absolutely desperate to own them. And this P-mint mark from Philadelphia, paired with its well-preserved condition, is one of those rare examples. The Washington quarter itself, by the 1990s, was a coin deeply woven into American life. It had been in circulation for over 60 years, an unchanging symbol of stability and tradition. Yet within that long run, certain years and certain mints produced coins that would become legendary in the collecting world. The 1993 P is one of them, not because of a flashy design change, but because of its sheer rarity in very fine condition and the demand it has created in today's market. Let's focus on condition for a moment. This coin is described as being in very fine condition. That means it's been circulated, yes, but not carelessly. Its details remain strong. Washington's portrait is still proud and clear, the lettering sharp, the reverse design intact. Very fine condition represents that sweet spot for collectors. It tells a story of use, but it also shows preservation. And when you take a modern coin and find it in this state, it stands out from the millions of ordinary examples still floating around. And here's where the story explodes. While most people would toss a 1993 quarter into a change jar without a second thought, this rare 1993 with P in very fine condition has reached a staggering value of $74,000 in today's red-hot collector market. Yes, $74,000 for a coin that many people alive today once casually spent without realizing its true worth. And this isn't just hype. The demand for rare modern quarters is growing fast. Collectors are no longer only chasing the oldest coins, they're chasing uniqueness, scarcity, and condition across all eras. Every day, coins like this set new records at auction. The market for Washington quarters is alive, dynamic, and climbing higher every single year. What is worth $74,000 today could soon cross into six figures as demand surges. This isn't fiction. This is the truth of the treasure market we are living in right now. For collectors, the lesson is clear. Never dismiss modern coins. Just because they aren't from the 1940s or 1950s doesn't mean they aren't valuable. In fact, some of the most shocking treasures hide in plain sight among coins struck in the last few decades. Always check for mint marks, look closely at condition, and remember, rarity can appear where you least expect it. The 1993 with P quarter is proof of that. It shows us that treasure is not just buried in the distant past, it's also hiding in the recent present, waiting to be discovered by those with the eyes to see it. Owning one of these coins is like holding lightning in your hand. Its modern history transformed into wealth. As we close the story of coin number 7, remember this: treasure does not discriminate by age. It doesn't matter if a coin is 50 years old or 200 years old. If it is rare, if it is unique, if it is preserved, then it carries the power of fortune. The 1993 P quarter is living proof, a coin that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, the simple into the priceless. And the journey isn't over. We've uncovered 7 treasures so far, each more thrilling than the last. But the final 2 coins on this list will raise the stakes even higher. What you're about to see next will take the word rare to an entirely new level. Stay with me, because the biggest shocks are still ahead. Coin number 8. With every step deeper into this journey, we're uncovering treasures that most people never even imagined could exist. And just when you thought we had reached the limits of shock and awe, another hidden gem emerges. This time, it comes not from the distant 1940s or the symbolic bicentennial of 1976, but from the very heart of the 1990s, a period many of us still remember vividly. Imagine this: a coin that looks so ordinary at first glance, yet carries within it a fortune powerful enough to change lives. That coin is none other than the 1994 Washington quarter with a P mint mark, marked with rare brown dots on its reverse, preserved in very fine condition. Now, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades by 1994. Millions upon millions of these coins poured from the US. Mint, feeding everyday commerce, resting in pockets, rolling through vending machines, and jingling in cash registers across America. But hidden among those countless coins, a select few carried quirks, mysteries, and conditions so unique that they rose above the masses to become legendary treasures. And the coin we speak of today is exactly that. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, proudly bearing the P mint mark, this 1994 quarter doesn't just look different, it feels different the moment your eyes meet it. The reverse side, where the iconic eagle spreads its wings, tells a story unlike any other. It is marked with brown dots, subtle but striking, the result of a natural transformation over time. To an untrained eye, they might seem insignificant, but to collectors, they are signs of authenticity, character, and rarity. They make this coin one of a kind, an artifact shaped not just by the mint, but by history itself. And then we consider its very fine condition. This is not a coin that has been worn down to obscurity. No, its details remain sharp. Washington's portrait holds its strength. The lettering around the edges is clear, and the eagle on the reverse still proudly displays its feathers. Very fine condition is a testament to both its survival and its preservation. When paired with the unique brown dot toning, this coin doesn't just attract attention, it demands it. Now comes the moment of truth, the value. This is where reality bends into something almost unbelievable. Today, in the fiercely competitive auction market, this 1994 P Washington quarter with brown dots on the reverse and in very fine condition has soared to a value of $72,000. Yes, $72,000 for a coin minted in the same decade many of us grew up in. Think about that for a moment. What once jingled in pockets for 25 cents now stands as a small fortune, a treasure chest captured in silver and history. And make no mistake, its value is not stagnant. It's growing. Collectors are clamoring for modern rarities, bidding wars are igniting, and each sale pushes the market higher. This is not speculation, it is happening now. The truth is, for what's worth $72,000 today may soon be worth far more. These coins are not just rare, they are treasures, and treasures only grow more precious with time. For collectors, the lesson is crystal clear. Never overlook modern quarters. The 1990s may not feel like history to everyone, but in the world of numismatics, 30 years is more than enough time for rarity to reveal itself. The brown dots on this 1994p aren't flaws. They're character, uniqueness, identity. They separate this coin from the countless others struck that year. Combine that with its strong condition and scarcity, and you have the makings of a true masterpiece in coin collecting. To hold this coin is to hold a paradox, a piece of modern America, yet also a priceless treasure. It reminds us that fortune hides in unexpected places, that history is not just in the distant past, but also in the decades we still remember. As we close the chapter on coin number 8, the message is clear. Treasure knows no boundaries. Whether from 1941 or 1994, rarity and uniqueness transform an everyday coin into something extraordinary, into something legendary. The 1994 P quarter, with its rare reverse markings, is living proof, carrying a value of $72,000 today and destined to climb even higher. And now, we stand at the edge of the journey's peak. 8 coins revealed, 8 treasures uncovered. But the final coin, coin number 9, is waiting. And I promise you, it may just be the most shocking of all. Stay with me, because the grand finale is coming, and it will leave you breathless. Coin number 9. We've uncovered 8 astonishing treasures so far, each one more shocking than the last. But now, the time has come for the final revelation. This is the moment we've been building toward. A coin born in the middle of World War II, struck at a mint that itself is legendary, and marked forever with a feature so distinct it transforms it into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Prepare yourself, because coin number 9 is here. The 1943 Washington quarter with an S mint mark, graced with a dramatic brown spot on the obverse, preserved in very fine condition, and carrying a value that proves it is nothing less than treasure. Let's step back into history. The year is 1943. The world is engulfed in conflict. American soldiers are fighting across Europe and the Pacific, while back home, the entire country has shifted into wartime production. Steel pennies were being minted, silver was critical for the war effort, and every single coin struck during this time tells a story of sacrifice, endurance, and national pride. Amid this backdrop, at the San Francisco Mint, represented by the S Mint mark, Washington quarters were struck in silver, meant to circulate through a nation at war. But not all coins are created equal, and this particular quarter stands apart. Its obverse side, where Washington's proud profile gazes forward, bears a dramatic, unmistakable brown spot. To some, that may sound like a flaw. But to collectors, it is character. It is uniqueness. It is the fingerprint of time itself. That brown spot makes this coin different from all the rest. It transforms it from common circulation silver into a living artifact, a visual reminder that history leaves its mark not only on people, but also on the objects they leave behind. And then we look at condition. Very fine condition. This is not a worn-down relic. No, this coin has survived 8 decades with its details intact. Washington's hair remains defined, the lettering sharp, the eagle on the reverse still full of strength and pride. Very fine condition tells us that while this coin lived through wartime circulation, it was preserved, respected, and safeguarded through history. It is rare enough to begin with, but in this condition, it rises to the level of true collector treasure. And here it is, the truth you've been waiting for. In today's red-hot collector market, the 1943's Washington Quarter, with its dramatic brown spot in very fine condition, has soared to an astonishing value of $60,000. Yes, $60,000. Imagine that. What was once a single silver quarter worth 25 cents in the midst of a world war is now a treasure chest in the palm of your hand. That is not fiction. That is not exaggeration. That is the undeniable reality of today's market. And don't think for a second that this is the ceiling. The demand for wartime coins is climbing higher every year. Each auction pushes the price further upward. Collectors are fiercely competing to own a piece of America's World War II history. And unique examples like this, bearing the S mint mark and the distinctive brown spot, are leading the charge. What is worth $60,000 today could soar far beyond that tomorrow. This is how fortunes are made, quietly and suddenly, through treasures that most people overlook. For collectors, this coin is a lesson in sharp vision. Always look closer. Don't dismiss a coin for its quirks. Sometimes those quirks are the very details that make it priceless. The S mint mark ties it to San Francisco, to a proud mint with a history of producing some of the most coveted coins in America. The brown spot, far from lowering its value, gives it character and authenticity. And the condition, very fine, cements its place as a gem in any serious collection. Owning this coin is not just about wealth, it's about legacy. It's about holding in your hand a piece of the 1940s, a symbol of a nation at war and a people united. It's about capturing history, rarity, and fortune in one breathtaking artifact. So as we conclude our journey through the top 9 ultra-rare and most valuable Washington quarters, remember this: every coin we've revealed is proof that treasure is not just buried in distant lands, it's hiding right here, in coins we see every day, in pockets, in jars, in collections passed down through generations. Each one tells a story. Each one holds a fortune. And each one proves that the secrets of U.S. coins are alive, powerful, and waiting to be discovered. This final coin, the 1943's Washington Quarter, with its dramatic brown spot, is not just the end of this list. It is a reminder that the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, mysteries, and treasures beyond imagination. And here, on Secret of U.S. Coins, I bring you those treasures, faithfully, truthfully, and with the newest updates every single day. So if you're as captivated as I am by these coins of fortune, stay with me. Because the secrets we've uncovered so far are just the beginning. More mysteries await, and the next discovery could be the treasure that changes your life forever.